What does it truly cost to maintain your independence in the music industry? Is it worth the struggle, or is it just easier said than done? A-Reece's song Swiss Francs, Easier Said Than Done, delves into these themes profoundly, combining the harsh realities of fame with the desire for autonomy and personal fulfillment. In the first part, Swiss Francs, A-Reece critiques the exploitative nature of record labels and the pressures they impose on artists. He reflects on his struggles with addiction and the search for hope amidst heart. The second part, Easier Said Than Done, highlights his contentment with being an independent artist despite the challenges he faces. Join me as we delve into the lyrics and uncover the deeper meanings behind this powerful composition.
Let it go and let it be. Praying for my enemies, I'm searching for a better me. Desperate, trying to find some hope inside these melodies. Heartbreaks and Hennessy, saying shit I didn't mean. Double cup, codeine, I swear I might just relapse. Saying that you know me, bitch, but I just don't believe that. Why can you not see that?
Right from the start, A-Reece sets the tone for Swiss Francs with these emotionally charged lines. He's reflecting on the tension between trying to grow as a person and the pull of his vices. The phrase, let it go and let it be, signals a desire to find peace and move past negativity, but immediately after he confesses to still grappling with old demons. Praying for my enemies, I'm searching for a better me showcases this internal conflict. He wants to be a better person, to rise above the pettiness of holding grudges. But that struggle is far from over. When he says desperate, trying to find some hope inside these melodies, it's a clear nod to the role music plays in his healing. For A-Reece, music isn't just a profession or a means to an end. It's a lifeline, a tool for survival. Then we get into some darker territory with heartbreaks and Hennessy, saying shit I didn't mean. The juxtaposition of heartbreak with self-medicating through alcohol reveals the pain he's still dealing with. And this pain leads him to say things out of frustration and anger that he doesn't really mean. It's a vicious cycle. Finally, the double cup codeine reference paired with I swear I might just relapse is a moment of vulnerability. Codeine, often associated with lean, is a highly addictive substance, and A-Reece is brutally honest here, admitting he's walking a fine line between staying clean and slipping back into destructive habits. The key takeaway from this opening is that even with success, A-Reece is still battling his inner demon. It's a stark reminder that no matter how successful or put together someone appears on the outside, the internal struggles can be overwhelming.
Codeine can be toxic. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying.
Let's go.
In the interlude, A-Reece confronts the negative effects of codeine on his life. By stating codeine has been toxic, he acknowledges the harmful influence that substance use can have on his mental and emotional well-being. This admission highlights his struggle with addiction and the clarity that often comes from recognizing one's vices. The line, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, reflects a moment of vulnerability and confusion, suggesting that he is grappling with his thoughts and feelings. This candid expression of disorientation serves as a powerful reminder of the internal battles many faces when dealing with substance use. With Yeah and Let's Go, A-Reece transitions back into the flow of the track, signaling a readiness to move forward despite these challenges, setting the stage for the deeper themes explored in the rest of the song.
Yeah, the rap game is decadent. Listen to what major record labels been investing in. Niggas taking orders from executives, presidents, managers, A&Rs, it's evident. Careers with embellishments, we know how that story ends.
Here, A-Reece shifts his focus from personal struggles to a biting critique of the music industry itself. The word decadent is crucial. It's often used to describe something that's rotting from the inside out, something that's overindulged to the point of excess. In this context, A-Reece is pointing out how the rap game has lost its essence, becoming a playground for major labels more concerned with profit than artistry. He goes on to call out how artists are being controlled by executives, presidents, managers, A&Rs. These are the gatekeepers of the industry, the people who decide what music gets released and who becomes successful. These artists, according to A-Reece, are little more than puppets, taking orders from the higher ups rather than following their own creative instincts. Then he hits us with careers with embellishments. We know how that story ends. This is such a sharp observation because it speaks to the way labels artificially inflate an artist's image, making them seem larger than life. But once the hype fades, what's left? A-Reece is saying that these careers built on false narratives and embellishments are doomed to fall apart once people start seeing through the facade. It's a warning to artists. If you're chasing fame without authenticity, you're setting yourself up for failure.
When the hype dies, they gon' start to grow a temperament. White lies turn to red flags, niggas thought it's black excellence. Niggas get advances and forget about the high stakes. When they start tweeting, it's gon' launch into a tirade. Legal team recommending sedatives. You about to scare the kids, cut ties with her and him.
In this part, A-Reece delves even deeper into the consequences of chasing hype. He paints a vivid picture of what happens when an artist's buzz starts to die down. They gonna start to grow a temperament. Speaks to the growing frustration and anger that artists feel when they're no longer the hot commodity. It's a stark reality check for anyone who's bought into the industry's illusion that success is everlasting. The phrase, white lies turn to red flags, is brilliant. A white lie is a harmless lie told to avoid hurting someone's feelings, while a red flag is a sign of warning. Reece could also be referring to the flag of Switzerland that has the same colors, hence the title Swiss franc. And here's the kicker. Niggas thought it's black excellence. Reece is saying that many artists, especially black artists, believe they're achieving greatness or black excellence by playing the industry's game, but in reality, they're being manipulated and led down a path that doesn't serve them. It's a powerful commentary on how the pursuit of success can sometimes blind us to the dangers ahead.
That and this recouping starts becoming an impediment. You ain't dropping till you finish paying him. Swear to God they adamant, far from benevolent.
He continues by addressing the financial burden of recouping expenses, which can stifle an artist's ability to release new music. The line, "you ain't dropping till you finish paying him," underscores how labels can hold artists back until debts are settled, creating a cycle of dependency. A-Reece's frustration is palpable as he describes these entities as far from benevolent, revealing the harsh realities that many artists face in an industry driven by profit rather than genuine support.
When they get a new artist and adamant, you gon' end up on the bench wondering why the fuck you signed in the first place.
The verse concludes with a stark warning. When labels bring in new talent, established artists often find themselves sidelined, on the bench, like Pep Guardiola benching Messi. This metaphor captures the feeling of being overlooked and unappreciated after signing away one's autonomy. A-Reece poses a rhetorical question that resonates deeply. Why the fuck you signed in the first place? This line encapsulates the disillusionment many artists experience, promoting listeners to reflect on their own motivations and choices in pursuit of success. Because as Reece once said,
it's very important to grow up. Yeah. Be yourself. Thank you.
Independent, so I gotta take my time. Independent, they will never take what's mine. Independent, but I haven't reached my prime. Staying independent till the day I die. Yeah. Trying to get a Swiss watch with Swiss francs that I got from Swiss banks. Give a fuck about what a bitch think.
the chorus in Swiss francs is A-Reece's declaration of independence. He's making it clear that despite the temptations of signing to a major label, he's staying independent, which allows him to own his work and take control of his career. The repetition of independent is important because it's a mantra for A-Reece, a reminder to himself and to the listener that he's not willing to compromise his values for short-term success, and that is why he made his own record label, Revenge Club Records. The line, "I haven't reached my prime," is especially telling. A-Reece is acknowledging that even though he's accomplished a lot, he believes his best work is still ahead of him. It's a statement of confidence, but it's also rooted in humility. He knows there's more to achieve, but he's willing to be patient and let his career grow naturally rather than rushing for the spotlight. A-Reece then shifts gears with a clever metaphor, trying to get a Swiss watch from Swiss francs that I got from Swiss banks. Here he connects luxury and success with his independence. The Swiss watch symbolizes symbolizes precision and quality, while the Swiss francs represent financial stability and wealth. This line encapsulates his aspirations. He's not just after money. He wants to build a legacy of excellence. The last line, "Give a fuck about what a bitch think," is a bold declaration of self-confidence. A-Reece maintains his determination to not let others' opinions or judgments affect him. This unapologetic attitude reinforces his commitment to authenticity and serves as a reminder to listeners to prioritize their own paths over external validation. Overall, this chorus is an anthem of independence, ambition, and self-empowerment.
Yo, don't ask me what I do for a living, cause I don't have a job. I'm just blessed getting money doing what I love. And when the words come together, I thank the man above. We used to shoulder shrug through life until we got to shoulder rub with the ones we used to look up to back when the boys were young, the ones we wanted to become when we were growing up.
The second part of this song, Easier Said Than Done, has a different vibe, but it's no less impactful. A-Reece starts off by rejecting the traditional notion of what it means to have a career. When he says, "Don't ask me what I do for a living, because I don't have a job," he's challenging the idea that success only comes from having a 9-to-5 or following a conventional career path. He's essentially saying, I don't need to conform to society's expectations to be successful. This is a huge statement for anyone who feels pressured to follow a certain blueprint for life. Reece is reminding us that there are multiple ways to make a living, and for him, it's about doing what he loves, making music. The line, "I'm just blessed, getting money, doing what I love," reinforces this sentiment. He's grateful for the position he's in, but he doesn't take all the credit. By saying, "I thank the man above," he's acknowledging that his success isn't solely his doing. There's a higher power at play. The following line, "We used to shoulder shrug through life until we got the shoulder rub," is a clever play on words. It suggests that they once approached life with indifference, shoulder shrug, until they began to connect with mentors or role models, shoulder rub. This transition signifies growth and the importance of surrounding oneself with those who inspire and uplift. In these closing lines of the verse, A-Reece reflects on the figures he admired in his youth, with the ones we used to look up to back when the boys were young. He acknowledges that these influences shaped their aspirations and dreams. The line, "The ones we wanted to become when we were growing up," captures a universal sentiment, the desire to emulate those we admire. This nostalgic reflection emphasizes how important role models are in our development and serves as a reminder that those who came before us often inspire our dreams. A-Reece's journey is not just about personal success, it's also about honoring those who paved the way.
Easier said than done until you hang around him long enough to realize he's just never who you thought he was. That just goes for some, but sadly the majority who find it hard accepting their demotion from seniority, who want you to be humble and call it acting accordingly, as if my resilience isn't why they stopped ignoring me. I see the insidious envy when they start applauding me. I guess nobody wants to tell the story that ends horribly.
In these lines, A-Reece reflects on the disillusionment that often accompanies idolizing others. The phrase, "easier said than done until you hang around them long enough to realize," captures the moment of awakening when one discovers that their heroes are not what they seem. This realization can be jarring, especially when you've placed them on a pedestal. A-Reece acknowledges that this experience is not unique. It applies to many, as he notes, "That just goes for some, but sadly the majority." He highlights a common struggle among those who have risen through the ranks, stating that many find it difficult to accept their demotion from seniority. This speaks to the harsh realities of the music industry, where success can be fleeting and positions can change rapidly. The pressure to remain humble is palpable as he critiques those who expect him to conform, suggesting that they want him to act accordingly while downplaying his achievements. A-Reece then asserts his strength with, "As if my resilience isn't why they stopped ignoring me." This line underscores his determination and hard work, implying that his perseverance has earned him respect and recognition despite the challenges he faces. It's a powerful reminder that true success often comes from overcoming adversity. In these concluding lines, A-Reece addresses the envy he perceives from others when he states, "I see the insidious envy when they start applauding me." This observation reveals a deeper understanding of the dynamics within the industry, suggesting that applause can often mask jealousy. He recognizes that while people may celebrate his success outwardly, there may be hidden motives behind their admiration. The final line, "I guess nobody wants to tell the story that ends horribly," serves as a poignant commentary on the darker side of fame, implying that many artists face struggles and hardships that are often overlooked in favor of glorifying success. A-Reece's candid acknowledgement of these realities adds depth to his narrative, reminding listeners that behind every success story there may be untold challenges and sacrifices.
Where the hero is a rebel that defied authority and went against conformity. It's obvious I'm clearly referring to me. Several labels wanna talk, I'm not in a hurry to meet. Every time I bring up a JV, they don't bother to speak. I'm out if nothing's in it for me.
In these lines, A-Reece positions himself as a rebel, a hero in his own story who stands against the traditional forces of the music industry. The phrase "defied authority and went against conformity" underlines his decision to remain independent and reject the norms pushed by major labels. By refusing to conform to the industry's rules, A-Reece portrays himself as someone who challenges the system rather than succumbing to it. He's the self-made hero, a figure who represents rebellion and resilience. When he says, "It's obvious I'm clearly referring to me," it's a bold assertion of his identity as this non-conforming figure. He's not just telling a generic story, he's narrating his own. This self-awareness is crucial in A-Reece's music. It reflects his pride in carving his own path. In these lines, A-Reece reinforces his reluctance to sign with major labels, even though they're approaching him. He is aware of the offers but not rushing into anything. "I am not in a hurry to meet" implies that he's taking his time, weighing his options, and staying cautious. The fact that these labels don't bother to speak when he brings up a JV, joint venture, shows how uninterested they are in offering him a fair deal. This refusal to engage in equal partnership speaks to the exploitative nature of the music industry. For Reece, the deal has to make sense. "I'm out if nothing is in it for me," and he's not willing to compromise his independence unless there's a real benefit.
Maybe my optimism is at its peak. Maybe the algorithm isn't for me. I'm going DTC from DSPs, cause I'm not cool with getting fractions of a fee. Someone established for me. Still indie and I'm happy to be. That signed artists don't look happy to me. Yeah.
The line, "Maybe my optimism is at its peak," is a moment of self-reflection. A-Reece is questioning whether his hopeful view of the industry might be naive or whether he's being too optimistic about finding a fair deal. It's a sharp contrast to the cynicism of the previous lines. He also brings up, "Maybe the algorithm isn't for me," referring to the way streaming platforms and social media algorithms can often push certain artists and content while burying others. Reece feels that maybe his music doesn't fit into the mold that these algorithms favor, but he's okay with that. He knows the game is rigged, but he's staying true to himself regardless. Reece takes a powerful stance here by saying he's going DTC from DSPs. DTC means direct to consumer, which is an approach where artists cut out the middlemen, like record labels or streaming services, and sell their music or merchandise directly to their fans. DSPs or digital service providers are streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, or Tidal. By choosing DTC, A-Reece is rejecting the idea of giving away control to these platforms that pay artists fractions of a fee that someone else has decided. He's not okay with getting pennies for his work, while corporations reap the majority of the profits. Still indie, and I'm happy to be is a declaration of his contentment with remaining independent. Unlike many artists who chase the major label dream, Reece has found peace and satisfaction in maintaining his independence. He values ownership over the quick gains that might come with a label deal. His last line, "that signed artists don't look happy to me," is a sharp observation. He's suggesting that many signed artists, despite the flashy contracts and fame, aren't truly happy. They may have the money and the fame, but they've lost their creative freedom and control over their careers, something A-Reece refuses to compromise.
Real shit. Yeah.
Still, y'all compare him to me. Superstars, y'all compare him to me. Rising stars, y'all compare him to me. That's how I know that I'm the best it could be.
Yeah.
A-Reece starts off with a bold declaration. Real shit. It's like he's saying, "Listen up folks, I'm about to drop some truth bomb." He then points out that people are comparing him to superstars and rising stars alike. Now, that's a serious compliment. It's like being compared to Beyonce while you're still figuring out how to hit the right notes in the shower. But A-Reece isn't fazed. Instead, he uses these comparisons as fuel for his fire. And here comes the mic drop moment. A-Reece concludes with a confident proclamation. That's how I know that I'm the best that could be. This line is dripping with self-assuredness. He's not just acknowledging the comparisons, he's embracing them and using them as a benchmark for his own greatness. It's like he's saying, if they're putting me in the same league as these superstars, then I must be doing something right. This is the kind of energy we all need in our lives. Owning our worth and recognizing our potential, no matter what others think. Swiss francs / easier said than done by A-Reece is more than just a song. It's a manifesto on the importance of independence, authenticity, and staying true to oneself in an industry that constantly tries to strip that away. From personal struggles to sharp critiques of the music business, Reece delivers a profound message for anyone pursuing their passion. His lyrical depth challenges us to think about the price of success and the importance of maintaining control over our own paths. So whether you're hustling at your job or dreaming big from your couch, remember it's easier said than done. But if A-Reece can do it while keeping it real and enjoying the moment, so can we.